90s, all the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations, they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations, they don't do it like us. What up?
What's up, guys? It's your girl Angel Marie, and I'm sitting here with my co-host Kevin. And this week we are taking it back a little bit, and we are going to give you guys a special segment called All of the Above Rewind, where we are going to talk about everything from 90s and early 2000s that you guys may have forgotten about, but we are going to bring it back alive. So first, we are going to talk about VHS tapes. A lot of you probably don't even know what a VHS tape is anymore, which is kind of sad. But we have some examples for you guys.
You hold one?
Yes. We have Space Jam and my all-time favorite, Michael Jackson, Thriller.
Yeah, this is actually more late 70s, early 80s. I mean, wow.
Yeah. I wasn't around when this first came out, but this is actually the video I used at my house to teach me how to dance. I watched this over and over 1 billion times, and that is how I learned to do the Thriller dance.
And that is where her love for Michael Jackson started as well.
Yes.
But no, I just remember this is really up until probably I was in college. This is how I watched the majority of things. I remember when I was my freshman year of college when I went away from home, and we didn't have cable in my dorm room, so anytime somebody went home, they would just like go watch BET or whatever and record a bunch of videos and record as many shows as they could on the VHS, and then they would bring it back and we would have the VHS and we'd watch like a bunch of the videos and TV shows and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really like that probably until 99 when DVDs kind of took over.
Yeah.
But
And then we also had Space Jam, and this is a different kind of packaging, I guess, for VHS tape, and then you open it, and this is a little backwards, but
yeah, that was the fancier packaging.
Yeah. And then next we also have cassette tapes, which a lot of you guys also probably don't know. This is pretty much during the day and age where VHS tapes were also popular. Yeah, I remember these. I used to have the Barbie cassette tapes and Think Pink, and then regular cassette tapes as well. What I used to do, actually, I would put a blank cassette tape or a cassette tape that was already had something old that my mom would listen to. I would put it in, and then I would record from the radio so I could also have it on the cassette tape.
Yeah, no, you're trying to show your age. I thought that was a little bit before your time, but I guess you kind of came in the tail end of that. And I remember I would have a ton of these in my backpack because I had a Walkman. I remember from one of my birthdays, my 10th or 11th birthday, I got a Sony Walkman. So in my book bag for school, I had probably at least 10 tapes at a time. The thing about these that always sucked is if you wanted to get to a song you liked, you would have to fast forward and try to get it right to the beginning of that song. So now it's just boom, you go right to whatever song you want to listen to it. But
and especially with old cassette tapes, they would have like lyrics or at least the song list inside, so you could see like it would have a whole little pamphlet for you. So yeah, now you couldn't go on Google and look up lyrics, so you would just open up the cassette tape and it would.
That's how you learn songs. Either you memorize it from listening to it, or you would look at the words.
Nice little throwback for you guys.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Actually, I did show cassette tapes to my daughters maybe like 2 years ago, and they were looking at it for a second. They did figure it out. They said, "Do you play music on this?" And I was like, "Yeah." They figured it out, but they were looking at it strangely for a minute.
And next on the list are CDs and CD players. A lot of people don't really use these anymore either, but some people still have them in their cars.
Yeah, I think most cars still make them. It's just crazy that CDs had such a short life. They, came out in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, and by the time we got to like the mid 2000s, they probably had a 15-year run. Like I said, people still release CDs. You can still go to the store and buy them, but
you can just tell like these are all my old CDs, and it's like early Chris Brown. I think that was his first album, and then early Sierra.
It's her first album too, right?
Yeah. Wait, is it? No.
No,
Let me see. That's her second one.
Sorry.
And then we have TLC's Greatest Hits, and then now that's what I call 13. I remember back in the day, literally on every channel they would have commercials where it was like, oh, that's my song. So some of the songs listed on the back that's gonna show how old it is Justin Timberlake's Rock Your Body, B2K, Girlfriend, Jay-Z, Excuse Me Miss. They had Joe Budden's Pump It Up. Nas, I Can is on here. Who else? Let's see. Yeah.
So it's like 2004?
Does it have 2003? 2003. Yep.
It's amazing. CDs actually feel old and outdated now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow.
A pastime. And next, we have MP3 players. Now this is just one kind of style of an MP3 player, but they came in a lot of different ranges. Why are you laughing so much? But this is pretty much like our little iTunes store. Like when CDs kind of was starting to filter out, everyone would listen to iPods and MP3 players. MP3 players came out first and then iPods came out. I never upgraded to an iPod. I always still have my MP3 player, but yeah.
No, it's just funny because MP3 players had an even shorter life than CDs. And it seems so easy and convenient. You couldn't pay me to use one of those now. Because don't you have to like hook it up to your computer?
Yeah.
It's just something that seemed like an upgrade just 15, 16 years ago, 20 years ago, now feels like a chore.
Sometimes though, if I'm on an airplane and they don't have like the little outlet nearby for me to charge my phone while I'm on the plane, I still take my MP3 player as backup. So if my phone dies, I still have some sort of music playing while I'm riding.
That thing still works?
It does.
Wow.
I haven't used it in a year. Huh?
How many songs is it old?
I don't know, but the sad part is I have never updated my song. So it's still all the songs that I was listening to in like 7th grade. So when I'm riding in an airplane, I get a little nostalgic because it's all my old songs, like from back in the day. It had Sean Kingston and Sean Paul, and yeah, it had all the old school people with old songs. I'm like, oh, I remember that song.
Can you even download new songs from iTunes on the MP3 player?
I don't think you probably can. Maybe, but who knows?
I don't even know if it recognizes the software anymore.
Right? Struggles.
Wow.
And next, we have vinyl records. So, obviously, I have Michael Jackson's vinyl record. And
the record of all records.
The record of all records. And this is actually an actual old school one. It's not one of those new ones that Urban Outfitters started reselling. This is fresh from back in the day when Thriller first came out. And yeah, you see it's a little old and brittle. You can open it and got more pictures in it. On the back, it tells you all the songs. And when you open it, this, my children, is what a vinyl record looks like.
It's actually made of vinyl, two-sided. I remember when I was a little kid, part of the sign that you were getting older and growing up is when your parents would let you actually put the needle on the record.
Oh, yeah.
These, once you scratch them, the record will skip, so when it plays, it'll doop, 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 for those who are too young to remember. So they had to trust that you would drop the needle on gently so it wouldn't scratch the record. And then even with the songs, you actually had to, if you wanted to play, you know, Thriller, or it was in the middle of the album, you would have to look for the tiny little gap in the grooves and then try to put the needle just there. So this was an art that took years to master, and wow.
Next on our list, we have old phones. As you see, there are a lot of old phones that we have here that are from my vault at my mom's house. I don't even remember what half of these are called, but like this one, everyone thought that this was popping because it would slide open. This was like, I think it was right before the Sidekick that came out. And it was like, oh, it opens up, you could type. Like, cause you know before you could only use one thumb to text, you have to constantly push one number. Here, this is when the evolution started where you can text a lot faster.
Wow. I mean,
that's the Boost Mobile, this one, I remember that. Where you chirp chirp. That was my favorite. The Boost Mobile, I felt like a boss with that one, but it was prepaid, so you had to go to Rite Aid and get the prepaid card to put more money on your Boost, and then if you chirp too much, then you lose points, so you had to tell people, only chirp me one time, I gotta save my money.
Wow. I mean, I'm just looking at these because this is back in the day where, yeah, those, you know, kind of were the stage where you started texting, but these phones are from the day when you actually just use your phone to make phone calls.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. The first cell phone that I got, it was 1998, and I remember it was free to call out, but I was charged, it was something ridiculous, like 25 cents a minute if you called me. So I had a pager, so I still had a pager, and I would tell people, if you want to talk to me, page me and I'll call you, because if you call me, I'll charge minute, and I had to pay, and it wasn't a set rate, it was like you paid for your minutes. Not prepaid, but you paid however many minutes you used, each month. So.
And I remember, like, back in the day, you could only call your friends after a certain time for
9
free.
p.m.
For me, I had Sprint. So Sprint was after 7 o'clock, but everybody else had T-Mobile and all that. So I still had to wait until 9 o'clock to talk to my friends. And by that point, I was in like middle school or whatever, high school, you had to wait because everybody else was 9 o'clock. And my bedtime was around 10. But I liked the Razor because, it started to flip. So if you mad somebody, hang up on them, you can slam it down and all that.
Little known story, this has to do with you. You're the reason that I got a unlimited plan in 2003 or 2004. Because back in the day when you had your cell phone plan, most of the plans you had a certain amount of texts. It would be like 1,000 or 2,000, 5,000 texts per month. And I noticed at the time we started going over, I would get the bill and it'd be like, okay, an extra $10, extra $20. And then one month, it was like an extra $150 over the text limit because like the first 1,000 were free, then anything over that. So I'm looking at the bill and it was you and your sister, my wife, were texting. And I'm like, y'all
I had unlimited.
Y'all, I
had unlimited.
Okay.
And that was when I had this one, I remember that.
I was like, you text 3,000 times this month? So we switched to unlimited and had unlimited ever since. And I don't even know if people have anything other than unlimited now.
No.
But yeah, so you are the reason I switched over to unlimited.
I save lives. So next on the list we have Super Nintendo, and this is like one of the old games. We have Super Mario Kart and a game called Tetris Attack. This is back in the day where you literally had to blow really hard into the game to like stick it in here and slam it down to make it work.
Yeah, I remember Super Nintendo. I actually didn't have one, so I'm making myself real old now. The first one I remember having as a little kid, my brothers were older, was Atari.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Then Atari 2600, then we got the Nintendo, the original NES, whatever they called it, Nintendo Entertainment System. Then I think I skipped Super Nintendo and went to Sega Genesis. And then after that went to PlayStation. So yeah, man, these are old. And now, because my daughter has the Nintendo Switch, and I think the Xbox and the PlayStation like this now, you don't have to buy games, physical games anymore. You just pay for them online and download them to the system, and you got the game right there. So it's like everything else, it just keeps evolving. You feel old?
After doing this, I kind of do.
A little bit?
A little bit. Just a little teeny tiny bit.
Because think about it, you're not that old, but you've seen the evolution of a lot of things.
That is true.
So, continuing on our retro theme, we're going to talk a little bit about some popular 80s, 90s, and early 2000 dances. Let's see, so most of these I know, some of them I don't know. I might have to ask you, one or two of them I'm not sure of, so I'm embarrassed myself. But number one is the Kid and Play. And I was actually me and my friend used to always practice this in his basement, and we were in some like 5th grade like dance competition, and we mastered this and we won this little neighborhood dance competition. But the Kid and Play, can you do it?
Yeah.
Have you ever done it with your friends?
Yes. Almost at not every party, but a good amount of parties I've done the Kid and Play.
So people actually do it at parties still?
Yeah, everybody watch House Party.
The Running Man.
The old school Running Man.
Thank you. Not this new version, but the Running Man, which you know who made it the most popular, right?
MC Hammer.
Of course, there you go. So, the Running Man was, I always look at it as the go-to, like if you're dancing and then you need to take like a little break, you're not sure what move to go to next. The Running Man was like your little filler dance. Cabbage Patch. How about number 4, the Roger Rabbit?
Isn't it this?
No. Remember, Whitley used to always do the Roger Rabbit on A Different World. I can never do it, but it's where you like kick your leg behind you and put your, look it up.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. The butterfly. Not the Tootsie Roll.
They're like the same thing.
The heel toe.
I can do it, but I'll show a clip of that instead.
Are you gonna show a clip of you doing it?
Oh no. We're gonna show
come on,
a clip
this
of
your
someone else
wheelhouse.
doing it.
Chicken head?
You don't know the chicken
I don't know
head?
the dance.
That's when it's like right there. Tachingi song.
I didn't know it's called a chicken head.
The struggles.
Alright, how about the crybaby? I don't know what that is either.
Well, the cry. I can't do the crybaby girl because it's a little raunchy and it's sad because a lot of little kids used to do it back in the day.
It sounds innocent.
You're literally laying on the floor and you're like beating the floor while you're like humping it. Basically.
I do know that dance. I didn't know it had a name.
It's called the crybaby. You know, like little kids be throwing a tantrum on the floor, so yeah.
The Diddy Bop.
Everybody know the Diddy Bop.
Crump.
Crump, clamp, bring it on down.
You did that in one of your band competitions, didn't you?
Yes.
I remember you doing that.
I crump.
Isn't there a picture of you like in mid crump?
Bro.
And you like.
Oh yeah, it was a competition.
Yeah, put that.
I'm not putting.
Put that one up. All right, crank that from Soulja Boy. That's 2007. Because most of these other ones were like 80s running. I think you're kind of going in order, or close to going in order. So now we're well into the 2000s.
Like early 2000s.
Yeah, crank that Soulja Boy 2007.
Soulja Boy up in that hoe. Watch me crank it, watch me roll. Watch me crank that Soulja Boy, then soup soak that hoe, and watch me you. So everybody know that.
What, Dougie 2010?
Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. I can't do it sitting down, but.
Nah, you got that. You got that. Stanky Legg.
Do the stanky leg, do the stanky leg. I'm gonna show clips for all of you guys, so just ignore me actually doing this sitting down.
No, I think it's a good way for them to see it in live, real time. How about the jerk?
I can't do that sitting down. That's where you're like kicking your feet. You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
That never really caught on like that though, did it?
Yeah, it caught on only for like a year.
Yeah, I feel like out of all these dances,
stick.
that's the one that's like, you'll never see anybody do that again.
Yeah, unless the song just happened to come on, people will do it, but just not for any old dance.
What's the cat daddy?
I think Chris Brown was in that video. It's like, it's weird doing it sitting down too.
What's the Spongebob?
Oh, that's what everyone used to do at like dollar parties and basement parties where you play like the Baltimore club music and you're like kicking your feet and you start doing it real fast.
Oh, that's
like the footwork.
Okay, this is really for young kids. This is like people 20 and under. These are all actually dances.
Yeah.
Like you actually had to move your body, you had to coordinate your movements, your legs, your arms.
Nowadays, people with these TikToks literally just be moving their arms with.
It's like you're just miming.
It's like we're a dab.
Thank you.
You're not doing nothing.
Thank you. You said it. That's exactly what I was gonna say. They're literally just like doing mime stuff. There's from the lower part of their body. If you can do a dance and we can only see you from the waist up, you're not dancing.
So next category we have popular toys. So I'm just gonna run down our list and you guys feel free to feel nostalgic. So we have Polly Pocket, Pokemon cards, Nintendo Game Boy. That was actually super popular in my house because I had 3 brothers. And then you even had like the little additional light that you would add on to it because obviously the Game Boy didn't light up at nighttime. So if you're trying to play in the dark or right before bed, you had to buy an additional little lamp that clips onto your Game Boy. We also have Furby, Super Soakers. I love that in the summertime.
Invented by a black man.
Super Soaker?
Yeah, I actually read this recently. He, I think, was the creator, and somehow I think he didn't get the money that he was supposed to, or something along those lines, and then it ended up going to court. Look this up, and I'll have to look it up too to get the full story, but ultimately I believe sometime in the last 4 or 5 years, he got like a large settlement, or was awarded a large amount of money in his court case because he essentially invented the gun but didn't get properly paid by whatever toy company mass market. So yeah, I think he was a scientist or something, or anyway. So yeah, look that up.
Well, we also have Power Rangers action figures. I think Power Rangers is probably still popular now or no? Well, you don't have any sons, so who knows?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so then we also have Beanie Babies.
I got a funny Beanie Baby story, but go ahead.
We also have Tamagotchi, which I used to love because it's like you're taking care of a little digital animal on the small little egg-shaped device. Bop It, which was, you had to kind of, Simon Says, I guess we had to follow the directions. We also had Soccer Boppers, which is cool for kids who wanted to get into a fight, but you still wanted to have fun. It was like a little inflatable boxing gloves. We also had Hit Clips, which I loved. It was literally almost like an MP3 player, but it only had one song on it. So it would be, I think back in the day, I had like Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again, and then there was another one that had NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye, and you could only listen to that one song on the Hit Clip, and then you had to...
Do you remember?
I don't remember, but it was like a little small keychain looking thing where it had at least 3 different clips on it, so you would just keep changing the clip and you would listen to one song at a time, and that was it. We also have Easy Bake Oven, which I used to have, and I love baking little small cakes and cookies. Also Nintendo 64, GameCube, Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation, and then we obviously already showed you guys the Super Nintendo earlier. And one other special toy that I want to mention that we still have, well that I still have, is the Angelica doll from Rugrats, where they had the movie Rugrats in Paris. This is only still in my life because I have young nieces and nephews and it kind of got passed down. So I don't still keep toys, just to put that out there. But this used to be one of my favorite toys because it had a little karaoke. The battery is missing, so it doesn't work right now. But yeah, wow. You see, she looks like she's been through some things. That shows how long she's been around.
And when I met your sister, you were young enough to where you were still playing with that. And when she pulled it out, I remember the song. The little Angelica doll is singing Bad Girls by Donna Summers. So I remember that thing. Yeah. And I can't believe you still have it.
Yeah, well I don't still have it. It was at my mom's house, so I had to go in the archives and, you know, grab this.
Continuing on with our retro theme, we're gonna move on to clothing trends. So, number 1 is the trucker hat, especially worn by Von Dutch. I have no idea who that is.
Really?
Who's Von Dutch?
I don't know. It was a designer. I know I used to have a Von Dutch trucker hat, and that's where it was like the regular dad cap looking thing, but it was netted in the back.
Yeah. You know who brought those back for a little bit was Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
If you remember, he was wearing those, I think, when he was on Punk'd or whatever. Mm-hmm. About jeans with no back pockets for the ladies.
I used to have a lot of those.
Jeans with bedazzled pockets.
I used to have a lot of those.
Alright, were you old enough to wear the oversized jeans and t-shirts and polos in the 90s?
I didn't, but my brothers did.
Oh.
I wore like the regular clothes, but my brother, all of my brothers actually.
We all did.
They had the oversized everything, 2X. They really needed an extra small or something.
No, I was the same way. I mean, I'd wear 2X. I'm a large, and I'd wear XXX, XXX. Jeans were 2 sizes too big, but that was the style back then.
It was.
That was the style. Juicy Couture.
Had all the sweatsuits.
Did you?
Yeah.
Baby Phat.
I only had one.
That was real expensive when it first came out.
Yeah, I had the knockoff.
About Phat Farm?
No, but my brothers wore it.
That was another, yeah, Baby Phat, Phat Farm, that whole brand. Mm-hmm. It was real popular. How about G-Unit?
I didn't wear G-Unit, but my brothers did. I think they had G-Unit sneakers though.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really remember a lot of people wearing the G-Unit clothes.
Yeah, I think the sneakers, they had the sneakers though.
How about FUBU?
Nope, I never wore FUBU.
No FUBU?
No.
Yeah, that was really early 2000s, like, I mean, sorry, 90s, like 92, 93, and I think by the time you were old enough to wear it, it kind of fell off, but hey, was it Damon John, the creator of FUBU? He still made his money off of it.
Yeah.
He's on Shark Tank now. Rocawear.
I didn't wear Rocawear.
You didn't have any Rocawear?
No.
Okay, how about jersey dresses?
I had one jersey dress.
Pastry shoes.
I had pastry shoes. I had 2 pairs of pastry shoes.
Wide leg yoga pants?
Yeah, that wasn't really a black culture thing, but it was still popular with like a lot of other people.
Like how long ago?
Early 2000s.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's like where you wore the wide leg yoga pants and the platform sandals.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
How about airbrush t-shirts?
I used to wear airbrush t-shirts all the time. It would say like baby girl or it would say angel or
you get them done at the mall?
Yep, went right to the gallery. I think paid like $10 for an airbrush t-shirt.
Yep. Studded belts?
Yes.
That's something I feel like you can still wear now.
I wouldn't wear
some
them now.
occasion. Now, purses with your first initial on it. You did that?
I definitely did. It was the small little shoulder purse where it had big old A on it. Probably somewhere at my mom's house too.
How about Rhinestone T-shirts?
Yes, I had a lot of Rhinestone T-shirts.
Wow. I remember in the, this is one of the ones that always cracked me up, but like early 90s, when people was rocking the overalls and you have the one strap.
Oh yeah, like
undone.
TLC kind of situation.
Yeah, no, that was popular. Everybody was doing that. I had like 4 of those overall outfits. And then people would get those airbrushed too.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of airbrush back in the day.
Exactly.
And last but not least, we have old stores that no longer exist anymore, so rest in peace. So we're gonna go down the list real quick. We have Blockbuster, which I used to actually really love on a Friday night when I would come visit you guys and spend the night at your house with my sister. Our tradition was always to go to Blockbuster. She would let me pick out a VHS tape, and then once we upgraded to DVDs, I picked out a DVD.
Oh,
I would always pick something in the horror section, and then we would go to Pizza Hut and grab a slice of pie of pizza, and then we would also get buttered popcorn. She loved the kettle popcorn, and we would always get that. And then once that went away, she started ordering Netflix like a week in advance so we could make sure it was there when I arrived. And I was like, dang, I really love going to Blockbuster with you, and we pick out our movie.
Wow. You took it back. I remember that.
Yeah.
But you can see it happen though. I mean, when Netflix came and then Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's funny from a business standpoint, Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix like 20 years ago and they passed on it. And then that's exactly who put them out of business.
Well, moving on, we have Borders Bookstore. I actually remember Borders because they used to be in the gallery, so I would go there to get some quick books that I needed. Toys R Us, that's actually a newly extinct store, unfortunately.
I heard they may be trying to come back.
Really?
They may be trying to come back.
I hope they become fully stocked, because I remember when I would go back to Toys R Us recently when they were, right before they were shutting down, their shelves would be almost empty. They didn't have a wide variety like they used to have when I would always go. KB Toys, that was also something popular that was in malls. Where obviously,
I think that their last stores just closed because I was in a KB toy store less than 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And I remember I saw it, I can't remember where I was at, but I went in because I was like, yo, I haven't seen a KB in years, but I think they're like recently, you know, defunct.
Defunct. We also have Limited Too, which was one of my favorite stores when I was in middle school. Again, my sister, when we would go to Willow Grove Mall, she would take me shopping. She'd be like, oh, go ahead to Limited Too. She spoiled me like I was her child. And I would go to Limited Too all the time and get like the little glittered stuff and rhinestone and graphic t-shirts that had the cheesy little words on it.
They've been gone for a minute, wow.
Yeah, they've been gone for a very long time. We also have FYE Music Store. That was recently closed as well. I know they had a store in Philly on Broad and Chestnut. I think they probably closed last year or 2 years ago. Oh well. Wet Seal, which was a clothing store for women. I actually really loved that in high school. It was near my school, so I would go to the gallery and get that. No longer there. Rest in peace. They had perfect prices too. That's why I loved it. And then recently, Chuck E. Cheese has been announced that they will more than likely be closing all of their locations because of the whole coronavirus. They're $2 million in debt, or $2 billion I think in debt. So it's not looking very promising for Chuck E. Cheese, so we wanted to throw them in this list as well. They might be going extinct.
And their whole business model requires kids and people being piled on top of each other.
Yeah, not a good look. And we also have to give an honorable mention to old photos that, you know, back in the day with Polaroids or just pictures that you had to pick up, cameras that you had to pick up from Walmart. You would go to events, take pictures, but you never knew what they would look like because you had to go get them made and printed. And they would come in a package like this, and they would also look like this, and you would get a whole bunch of pictures. I'm not going to show you guys my photos because they're from back in the day. Like, I think it was my 6th grade field trip in Baltimore, but they would give you a call, still had my house number on it. That's when we all had house phones, and it would tell you that it was ready.
And you, every time you come home, you would check your answer machine if it was blinking to see if you got the call from whatever, the Walmart or wherever it was you got your pictures done, Walgreens, and they would tell you pictures are ready, come pick them up, and you go excited hoping that there wasn't red eye or that they came out clear. But I take it back a little bit further. When I was a little kid, I remember they had photo mats, which were these huts in the parking lots of like grocery stores or, you know, department stores, malls. And you would go up to the hut, there was a worker in there, you would drop your pictures off, and then you go back a couple days, a week, whatever later, and pick up your pictures there. And those, they died out in like the mid 80s, maybe a few left in the late 80s. And then we moved to this. And then now with digital cameras, there's absolutely no need for them.
Right.
But then you got like the, you know, online print shops where if you actually do want a physical picture, because there's instances where you do actually want the physical picture if you're gonna have like a picture blown up for a poster or something like that. So there's still a need for it, but it's all done online.
Comes in handy. Well, there you have it, guys. We hope you enjoyed it and that we took you on a trip through memory lane with all this nostalgia, with 80s, 90s, and early 2000s items, stores, toys, etc. All of the above. But if you guys like what you saw, which we hope you did, make sure you like our video below. If there's anything that you guys would like to talk about, if there's anything that we mentioned that you still have or own, or if you had a favorite toy, a favorite game, a favorite phone, or just any store that you like to visit back in the day, or even a popular dance, let us know in the comment section below, because we would love to hear your thoughts and to hear from you. And as always, if you guys like what you saw and you would like to see more from all of the above, make sure you push that subscribe button. That is how you stay up to date with everything that's going on, and you always get new alerts every time a new video is uploaded.
I had a really good time. This was fun going down memory lane with you all, and it makes me feel old, but also reminds me of simpler times, and just amazing to see how technology has changed and just the evolution of things over time. So this is actually a really fun one, and it made me laugh a little bit too, looking back at some of the stuff that we used to have.
I know, and I'll say shout outs to my mama, because I was able to keep all of my stuff at her house, and I went over there to go grab it, said, hey, we're doing a new segment, I need to get all the stuff. And I was shocked at how much I still even had at her house, but hey, it came in handy.
Mama.
But as always, I'm your girl Angel Marie, and I'm sitting here with my co-host Kevin.
See you guys next time.
See you guys next time.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel Marie and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, storming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding. When we pull it together, we applying my pressure.